The crowd roared as the gates of the Colosseum creaked open. Two gladiators stepped onto the sand, armor gleaming beneath the Roman sun. Swords drawn, eyes locked, they moved like predators. The spectators leaned forward, thirsty for blood. But while there was blood, and sometimes death, the reality was more nuanced. Gladiators were part of a carefully controlled spectacle, one built on discipline, economics, and entertainment. In fact, most of the time, they didn't die at all. To the outsider, it looked like a fight to the death. But in truth, the story was rarely so simple. In the popular imagination, Roman gladiators were doomed men, slaves, and criminals forced to butcher each other for the amusement of a bloodthirsty public. The business of blood gladiators were expensive. Training a single fighter took months, even years. They lived in special schools, ludi, where they trained under veteran warriors called doctors. Even the loser walked away richer. Gladiators could earn money. Gladiatorial combat was not chaotic slaughter. It was ritualized and regulated. Each bout had a referee. Death did come, fighters were matched by style and skill to ensure fairness and spectacle. Certain pairings became iconic, like the lightly armored Ricciarius using agility and distance against the heavily shielded Secutor, who relied on brute force and defense. Gifts, but not mindless. Like martial arts or modern boxing, his name might be remembered. His likeness might be etched in stone. It was about control. In their suffering, Rome saw virtue. But the truth of its blood-stained sands is more complicated. Not all ended well. Some matches were explicitly sine missione, without release. These were rare and usually reserved for high-stakes occasions. Accidents happened. A well-placed blow, a stumble, or a misjudged parry could mean instant death. Wounds festered. Bones shattered. Gladiators bore scars as badges of honor or reminders of close calls, like major festivals or political statements. In such fights, mercy was off the table. Someone had to die. Timing and showmanship. Fights often lasted minutes, not seconds. Myth endures. The best gladiators knew how to play to the crowd, delivering dramatic moments, clever feints, and sudden reversals. And fame. Though most were slaves, some were free men who volunteered, octorati, drawn by the promise of glory and fortune. Their bodies were investments, and their managers, called lanistae, didn't throw them away lightly. Bloody chess, a dishonorable defeat, might lead to execution. In these moments, the loser would kneel, and if the editor demanded death, the victor would step forward and deliver a final, precise stab to the neck or chest. A clean kill, but also because death did happen. And in Roman culture, violence was spectacle, a way to affirm power, glory, and fate, meant to be quick. Game. A top gladiator was like a star athlete. Posters with his face painted or drawn might line the streets. Children collected figurines. Fans knew their favorite's fighting style. Was he a heavily armed Murmillo, a nimble Ricciarius with a net and trident, or a fierce Secutor? The best fighters became celebrities. Instead, fights often ended when one man yielded. He would drop his weapon, raise a finger, and look to the editor of the games, usually a wealthy Roman magistrate, or even the emperor himself. Killing such a prize in every match would be like the NFL executing its MVP every Sunday. So while gladiators could die, and sometimes did, many matches were not to the death. Misses or jugula. Why? Because dead gladiators didn't bring repeat business. A skilled fighter who showed courage, flair, or technical brilliance might be spared even if he lost. He would live to fight another day, and the crowd would come back to see him. When a gladiator surrendered, the crowd erupted. Some cheered for mercy, shouting, "Mit!" Others, bloodlust boiling, yelled, "Jugula!" The editor made the final call, usually based on the quality of the fight and the mood of the spectators. But mercy was far more common than legend suggests. Sometimes, despite the danger, the combat was brutal. It was theater soaked in sweat. When, of course, and even outside of these blood contracts, for the truly unfortunate. It was as much about respect for the profession as it was about ending suffering. So why do we still believe that gladiators always fought to the death? Partly, it's thanks to modern media films like Gladiator and TV shows that focus on the blood, not the strategy. To Romans, death was not the ultimate tragedy. Cowardice, dishonor, and defeat were worse. A gladiator who died well, courageous, and composed was admired. Even the philosopher Seneca wrote of watching gladiators who died with more dignity than senators. A legacy in sand over the centuries, the Colosseum has stood as a symbol of violence. Gladiators were not simply victims, they were athletes, entertainers, symbols of Roman values. Many survived years in the arena. Some earned their freedom, a few became legends. They didn't always fight to the death, but when they did, they made it unforgettable.